Late at night, while the room lay hush in soft shadows, her phone lit up beside me, and with it mine. A notification from her Instagram story slid across my screen. Half curious, half habitual, I tapped it. There it was. If a man can't handle a strong woman, he's not a real man. Bold words stamped in white over a filtered selfie of her with wine in hand, and that familiar smug smile, the one I had once found alluring, but now could barely look at without feeling something hollow gnaw at my chest. I turned my head slowly to look at her. She was still awake, eyes fixed on her screen, fingers casually scrolling, as if the quote wasn't about me, as if it wasn't a quiet bullet. She fired in my direction while lying inches from me. No conversation, no explanation, just a silent accusation, dressed up as empowerment. But I understood exactly what it meant. We have been fighting more often lately. Never over anything huge, but always with an edge. The kinds of arguments that fray the threads between two people. A constant game of control disguised as conversation. She'd interrupt me in front of others, dismiss my input with a shrug, make backhanded comments that twisted the things I cared about into jokes. At first, I chalked it up to her personality. She was confident, ambitious, unapologetically bold. That's what I loved about her, or thought I did, but confidence had soured into condescension. Her version of strength came with casualties. Mostly me. I wasn't allowed a moment of weakness. Couldn't admit to being overwhelmed. Couldn't be sad or frustrated without being labeled too sensitive or not man enough. Every time I expressed something real, something human, she belittled it. A real man wouldn't be hurt by that. She wanted someone who could handle her. But that translated into someone who could absorb her cruelty without flinching. Someone who could carry the weight of her insecurities and ego while smiling through the pain. The quote she posted wasn't just a sentiment. It was a spotlight on how she saw me and how little space she gave me to simply be, but what she never considered was the toll it took. Being with her was like wading through emotional landmines. Loving her meant biting my tongue, hiding my feelings, laughing when hurt, and nodding when I wanted to scream. I wasn't her partner. I was her punching bag with a heartbeat, and I was tired. 2 weeks later, the final crack split everything. We were at a friend's party. Harmless, relaxed, drinks, conversation, laughter, and then she did it again, a joke. At my expense, this time about the sink. He can't fix anything without a YouTube tutorial, she laughed. Everyone laughed except me because what they didn't know was how I spent hours under that sink trying to fix a damn thing myself. Because she insisted we didn't need a plumber. Because I wanted to prove I could, but it didn't matter. To her, I was the punchline. Again, that night, I brought it up gently, just hoping she'd finally listen. But she rolled her eyes. Like I was a child. Seriously, you're mad about that? Grow up! So I did. I slept on the couch that night. Not because she told me to, but because the thought of lying beside someone who disrespected me so casually made my skin crawl. And in the quiet of that night, I saw the truth clearly. She didn't want an equal. She wanted control. She wanted someone to kneel so she could feel tall. I didn't leave right away. I gave it a week. I watched for change, for softness, for any sign that she might reflect or reach across the chasm growing between us. Instead, she doubled down. More Instagram quotes, more passive-aggressive digs, more silence in place of love. And then one day I came home and found my favorite hoodie, the old one from college I wore on lazy Sundays, gone, just gone.
Oh.
I threw it out, she said when I asked. It looked childish. No warning, no conversation, just another little erasure. Like my comfort didn't matter. Like I didn't matter. That was it. Packed my things quietly, no shouting, no ultimatums, no tearful goodbyes, just a note left where she'd find it. You wanted someone who could handle you. I want someone who stands beside me, not above me. Take care, and I walked away. I blocked her on everything that night. Not out of spite, but out of necessity. I needed air. I needed space to breathe without being judged for every inhale. I needed to remember who I was before I started shrinking myself to fit into her idea of a real man. The first few weeks were hard. The silence rang loud in my ears, but slowly I started piecing myself back together. I moved into a small apartment with sunlight that kissed the floor in the morning. I picked up old hobbies, guitar, sketching, late-night runs under quiet skies. I reached out to a friend she'd nudged away over the years. They welcomed me back like I'd never left. And one day, I got a message from an unknown number. It was her. I didn't realize how much I pushed you away. I thought being strong meant winning every time, but maybe I lost something more important. I stared at the message for a long time, didn't reply, because sometimes strength isn't about overpowering someone. It's not about winning. Sometimes true strength is knowing when to walk away from someone who doesn't value your voice, your softness, your heart. I wasn't weak. I just refused to be belittled in the name of love. A few weeks later, someone showed me another quote she'd posted on her story. Being strong doesn't mean breaking others down. Maybe she meant it. Maybe it was performative. But by then, it didn't matter because I had already found peace and I wasn't looking.